tenacity, resilience, the kind of toughness that isn't just spoken about, but felt, pulsing through every possession, every defensive stand, every battle for a loose ball. The Phoenix Suns embodied all of it on Monday night as they stood toe-to-toe with the Milwaukee Bucks, feeding off each other's energy, refusing to break under the weight of their own mistakes. Playing Milwaukee is no easy feat. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a force of nature, a relentless physical specimen who bends defenses to his will. We know this all too well. We felt it in the 2021 NBA Finals, and yet, despite his overwhelming presence, and despite a level of physicality that would qualify as assault in certain jurisdictions, the Suns persevered. They adapted. They endured. They met brute strength with sheer will, and they overcame. This was a collective effort in every sense. Kevin Durant, the effortless scoring savant, dissecting Milwaukee's defense with precision. Devin Booker, ice in his veins, delivering a dagger with 1.7 seconds left. The kind of moment that turns good players into legends. It takes an army. It takes a team. It takes a mentality built on toughness to withstand the blows, both literal and figurative, delivered by an opponent like the Bucks, to push through the officiating, to clean up their own wounds and keep fighting. That is the mark of a good team. And right now, Matthew, the Suns, they're a damn good team.
They are. This is a damn good-looking dude right here, too. Look at post-game Devin Booker.
Post-game book, man. Flex on him.
Nips out, everything. So, man, if you couldn't take any more of the heat that the Suns really brought you tonight, there's Devin Booker, short list after the game, to show everybody that what he's made of. But, man, you summed it up in the beginning. Everything you said is absolutely true, and this is the best game of the season. They keep getting better and better, I feel like, as we progress in the last 5 games.
4 games in a row for the first time since November, and the team is now 13-3 without the services of Bradley Beal when Devin Booker and Kevin Durant play. So welcome, Jamsters, to another edition of the Suns Jam Session podcast. My name is John Voigt. I'm managing editor of BrightsideOfTheSun.com, and I'm joined, as always, by my podcasting partner, Matthew, who is a senior writer, editor, telegrapher, and poop stain at Bright Side of the Sun as well. So we thank you for taking a little time out of your day, whether you're watching along live or listening later, to hang out with us as we talk about this victory over the Milwaukee Bucks that pushes the Suns to 35-37. And again, a 4-game winning streak. So if you have an ice cold brew, pop them if you got them, Suns fans. I know that they're probably doing the same in the arena there down at PHX Arena. So cheers.
Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.
Big win for the Phoenix Suns as they downed the Milwaukee Bucks 108-106, a game that it came down to a buzzer beater by Devin Armani Booker. Brings me to my first question.
Matthew, I've got to ask.
Matthew, I gotta ask, when you watch this team take on a team like Giannis Antetokounmpo, which hurts more? The losing in the finals to the Bucks or losing in the Mavs in Game 7 of the second round the next year?
I think it's a Mavericks game. It sucks because I was thinking in the third quarter, I'm like, Chancellor's ready for this one. I forgot we played them in the finals. I've been so distracted by this season, and the Suns team is so focused on these guys really getting it right. The Bucks coming to town, I'm like, oh, they're great. They're playing for 4th out in the East. They have a reason to win tonight. That's all I cared about until I saw stuff and celebrated. I'm like, oh yeah, we played them in the finals. So I'm gonna have to go with the Mavericks on that one.
Yeah, it's funny because I was kind of going back and forth with somebody on Twitter this evening who was, calling our franchise a poverty franchise. And I just started agreeing with them because they're right. Like, You're not going to hurt my feelings telling me how bad the Suns are. I've lived it, motherfucker. So I don't care. But I go back and I think about that 2021 team when we were playing the NBA Finals and we're playing this this, for the most part, some of this core, right? Drew Holiday's obviously gone, but Giannis was there. Brook Lopez was there. And I think about what that experience was like. And even when we lost, it was such a fun and unexpected experience after being a team that had not been in the playoffs for 10 years, that it was fun. And we're just like, that sucks. And the next year we were insane. We were 64-win team. And then we lost in game 7 in the second round in 2022. That one hurt. So to all you Bucks fans who think that we care about you, we don't. It's the Mavs that took our fucking heart, okay? When you say Giannis is our daddy, I'm like, get in line. Luka's our daddy first. You know what I mean? But that being said, focusing on this game.
When was it over?
When was this one over, Matthew?
Well, again, I felt like the Suns would win this one before the tip. I just felt like this team had the energy. They're fighting a team out east who, of course, is fighting for the 4th seed, like I said, but they're an East Coast team, right? They're without Lillard, so there's a possibility there that the Suns can steal one again. They absolutely did, but I really do think it was right when they kind of pulled away by 6 or 8 points in the fourth quarter. You kind of felt like it turned right there because the Suns were playing great offense. They're fine. It was a slower game, slower pace, but they had to kind of step it up defensively. They got a few stops. Ryan Dunn came in again hot after that big dunk we'll talk about later. But you just kind of felt at that time, I think, at the dunk and the 3 and Booker was celebrating, like you felt like right then and there the Suns won it. Obviously, any team can come back in the NBA like the Bucks did to tie the game. But then again, I still thought the Suns would win the game. I have not doubted this team in quite a while. And quite a while was a couple weeks. That's it.
Yeah, for me, I mean, this one was over when Brook Lopez missed that first free throw. I mean, that was it right there. They were down 106 to 105. He goes to the line after a questionable review, but I'll accept it. And he misses the first free throw. It's like, hell yeah, dude. Like, even if he makes a second one, we have the ball. We have an opportunity to win the game. And that's what happened. I mean, Devin Armani Booker took the shot after being unbelievably passive. I feel like in the second half, he really was trying to defer as much as possible. But when the opportunity came available, the Bucks defense broke down because they were so concerned with Kevin Durant that they left Devin Booker wide open to take just an easy, 17-footer, which is kind of his bread and butter shot. So it was over when Devin Booker called game.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Big Dick Booker.
So Devin Booker in this game, 7 of 18 from the field and 0 of 5 from beyond the arc. Only 19 points. He did have 12 assists. So he had an Arizona game, 1912. For those of you who don't know, February 14th, 1912 is when the state of Arizona became a state. Valentine's Day, 1912, state 48. But he was a team best plus 13. He had the 5 turnovers, not a clean game by Devin Booker. And I almost feel like he was being unbelievably passive in the second half. And, you kind of look at the statistics and that backs it up. Booker had 4 points in the second half. He was 2 of 9 from the field, but the 2 of those 4 points were the game winner. What did you see from Devin Booker tonight?
Yeah, he was passive. He was 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, like you said. I feel like the way Booker's playing right now is, what else do we have out there? Who else can I get involved? What else can we do offensively? Who else could we get cooking, right? I mean, I know Grayson Allen came back. We don't want to talk about him. He was obviously miserable, missing a shot by about 2 feet. So he came back. Royce O'Neal's kind of disappeared a little bit. So they have a lot of new guys in here, obviously with the young guys in Gillespie. So maybe he just wants to figure things out with them. Because right now, I think Booker and KD, obviously KD the last 2 games have been incredible. And they can step up and hit the big shots when that's necessary. So I think in a game like this, when it kind of comes down to the Bucks and the Suns, just slowing down a little bit, throwing some punches from the hips and just trying to get through to the end of the round, and just like who can actually hit the big shots with a couple minutes left, who can bring that energy to end the game. I think Booker knows that they have that, right? He's doing a lot of things right now where it's just not really hitting the stat sheet. There's a lot of effort plays out there. Starting the fourth quarter, he had the three rebounds, 3 assists, and then that was it. Like, that's how he started the fourth, and that's how he wanted to get things going and keep the intensity up. That's what I want to see from Book, and that's how last pod I was saying he is kind of bringing out that Jimmy Butler in him, where he's doing everything that's necessary to keep this team close in games, keep them above in blowouts like before, but also just to know the game itself and just to know like this is not going to be a Bucks team that's going to run away with it. So I think it's kind of an experiment at the same time as I know we can win in the end if it comes down to it.
You know, Devin Booker, again, not a great game. Those 12 assists, though, fantastic. And it's the energy. Like you said, it's the ancillary things that Devin Booker's doing in this game and through this little win streak and kind of these last 2 weeks overall. And I guess we can go as far to say 3 weeks now. He's doing these little ancillary things that makes this team better. And I love, you know, he said on the last podcast when we had way too much to drink and went for way too long, you were talking about, you know, he's playing his inner Jimmy Butler. He's playing his inner Booker in the Olympics. He's doing a lot of the little things on the fringes that allow this team to be successful. And I love that you brought up the rebounding for him, because you take a look on the entire night and he ended with 7 total rebounds, and 2 of them were offensive rebounds. They're weak side. Booker notoriously throughout his career is not somebody who leaks into the paint and goes and gets rebounds on a consistent basis. He normally likes to leak out and run away. And what I liked about a couple of the offensive rebounds is they didn't occur because he was hanging out on the weak side and crashing on the weak side like he's done in the past. Because whenever that happens, I feel like the opposing team finds his assignment, and that assignment is wide open in the corner and they hit a 3. Booker's been staying on his assignment on the weak side, crashing when the shot occurs, not before the shot. And when he crashes, he's getting the Suns a defensive rebound, you know, and if he happens to be off ball for the offensive rebounds, he's doing it again, coming off ball weak side and creating a little bit of disruption, which I think has been the key to success for this Suns team over this run, is they are disruptive. And you see him feeding off of the Oso Iguodoros, the Ryan Dunns, the Colin Gillespies, these guys who all are in this mode of we're undersized, but we are going to team rebound the shit out of the ball. And he is adopting some of that, right?
Yeah, he is. And those other guys too, we were missing that. The athleticism, the crashing the boards, the filling the holes. Like you have to do that, especially when you're missing. I know plumbing's not that great, but you're missing one of your bigs and you had to rely on Oso last game. It has to be team rebounding. It has to be team playmaking. It has to be everything evolved as a team. And it's led by Booker and Kevin Durant, who at times did have some bad turnovers again tonight, both of them. But there's times in the games where you're looking for kind of just that leader to take over. And I think Booker has become that guy. Like you said, in the Olympics, he's a guy doing a lot of the other stuff. But I think he's at a place where he is an elite playmaker right now for the Suns. He's an elite shot maker in the first half, having the 15 points, and he was 5 of 9. Like he just looks so solid with those shots. I don't remember really this season. I know he's had them where he has those little fadeaway shots and mid-ranges, taking the defender off the dribble and do that. But it's never looked as good as it has right now for him. And I haven't seen that till like the last 2 or 3 games where I'm like, he's going to make this shot. Like I can believe in him. He has done it, but I'm not ever in the mood to even look or care about it as much as I am right now. So I just think that he's kind of taken that next level, but also just making sure he has the playmaking, he has the shot making, but he's doing everything else to lead this team in other areas. I really do think he's having fun with this team because he knows they can play. And like when Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson were here, he loved those guys because they play hard. They're like those other teams we have right now, Ryan Dunn and Oso. So, and Gillespie. So he's having fun with it because he knows these guys are high IQ and they're going to be in the right spot. They're going to make the right play. They're going to play hard every possession. They're going to cut to the basket. They're going to be open for, dunks like Dunn had today. Like, I think that he has his guys right now, and it's exactly what he needed to see at the end of the season to be like, I'm comfortable going next year with a few of these guys.
100%. I think that is what has switched this year. Is Booker was very vocal with the lack of communication on the court, how they did a great job in the locker room before the game, communicating a game plan. But once they stepped onto the court, the communication kind of stopped. And when they got down, it got real quiet. And he kind of challenged his teammates. And you have, to your point, you have these young, athletic, give a shit guys. And those are the ones that Devin Booker likes to have around him because he gives a shit. And you saw that again tonight. And, his teammate Kevin Durant has that same mentality of give a shit out there. And I think that that's something that the Suns are feeding off of. They're allowing their 2 superstars to be the change, right? And they're supporting them. And these are guys who you don't see Kevin Durant out there getting frustrated with his teammates like he was earlier in this season because they're just in the wrong position because they're not effectively communicating. Real quick, I do want to shout out Book was rocking the Book won 70 points. I know we tell this story every year, but I think it was 8 years ago now when Devin Booker scored 70 points in a game and he was wearing a kind of a certain pair of Nikes, and he kind of emulated that with his Book once tonight. But it was fun kind of seeing him do that. But the reason that he was so wide open for the game winner is the reason why you need to build around him and Kevin Durant, because if one guy gets going, if one guy's has a heater going, opposing defenses have to account for that. And if somebody can leak out, they're going to have an opportunity to win the game. That's what Devin Booker did tonight, and he did it because Kevin Durant had a great game.
Who the heck are you?
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Did anybody see a sniper? Did anybody see anything?
I'm one of the best players to ever play the game.
I was really hoping that Kevin Durant would make the final shot just so he'd get 2 more points because he ended with 38, and it would have been nice for him to have back-to-back 40 games this season against 2 of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. But he was 11 of 21 from the field, 7 of 9 from deep, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He had 8 total rebounds. He had 5 assists. He, too, like Devin Booker, had 5 turnovers, but he had 3 blocked shots as well. Kevin Durant looked absolutely fantastic again tonight and is just unsolvable for any team, especially a team like the Bucks, where their best defender is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he gets the one who gets matched up on KD a lot. But you can screen right off of him and have a lesser defender on him. And 2, I think that Giannis is the archetype of player who really gives Giannis fits defensively because of the fact that he can rise up. He can't block him. He's quicker. Kevin Durant is quicker than the lateral movement of Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you saw that on display time and time again tonight, Matthew.
You did, and one play that really frustrated me on the officials' part was the last play where Brook Lopez was, before he went to the free throw line, he drew the foul, but Kevin Durant, he was in a good spot. I know he was on the circle, but he rose up and he got drilled right in the head with an elbow. Like, I feel like the refs were letting a lot of things go in this game where it was really physical. And I'm really surprised they called that. I know he was inside the circle, but to me, it just felt like it was a bang bang play where it's like he's going up for the game winner or the game tying possession, and he's going to go up against 2 defenders and Dunn and Kevin Durant. It's going to be physical. I thought the refs would actually let him have that, like Kevin Durant, just be like, that was a hell of a defensive play. The effort, the fight, the fact that he wanted to be that physical to go up against Brook Lopez. That's the incredible part because that guy's massive. So I wish they would have let him have that. But the way that Kevin Durant played tonight, last game, it's been incredible because everyone else around him is doing so much to where he has these incredible wide open shots. And you'll see it on subreddit where everyone's like, the one guy you got to cover, you're leaving wide open. Remember the Suns used to do that all the time. You don't see it as much now. But Kevin Durant's getting those kind of looks because everything else is going around him too. I think that, last game, the 42 points, second this year. Then tonight with the 38 points, that's his 3rd best this year. So as we close out this season, the energy that has he's played all season long, but it's like the now that the Suns have this fight, this second kind of surge to end the season, you feel like they're going to get so hot in this to end the season that Kevin Durant's going to be the guy that's going to be just kind of wide open, doing what he wants offensively, looking for the mismatches, playing his own game, something that we always wanted him to do, just kind of be the guy taking his shots, not having to work so hard for everything. And you're finally seeing that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see like 6 more 40-point games, because this season I was like, is he ever going to get 40 points? He got it earlier this year in December, but this is his second one last game, and now he almost had his 3rd. So he's going to be grabbing a couple more before the playoffs, I feel like. And that's awesome. Good for Kevin Durant, dude.
Yeah,
it's
and
been
I think
incredible to watch the dude.
Again, this has been what the Suns have wanted to happen since Durant arrived in Phoenix. And we've seen it throughout periods last season. And we saw it at the front end of this season is if you're close, if the game is close, the Suns are very hard to defend because they have Booker and because they have Durant. It's just the fact that because the ancillary pieces around him haven't been productive, combined with the fact that both Booker and Durant have been turnover prone, right? I mean, to combine, they had 10 turnovers. They had to overcome themselves tonight in the turnover department. But when the rest of the team isn't turning the ball over and they keep the game close, they have a chance and they have the talent. That's where talent can really start to take hold. And the Suns have been showcasing that talent night in and night out. And this is different than the Cavs game, right? Because when we were sitting here getting drunk on Friday, talking about the Cavs, talking about the Suns, we both were kind of like, yeah, but this is also a team in the Cavs that's kind of taking their foot off the pedal. To your point, the Bucks are not a team that's trying to take their foot off the pedal. The Bucks are a team that's trying to get home court advantage in the playoffs right now. Every game matters, and they were playing like it matters. And the Suns, because of the talent and because of the hustle that they displayed, they won the game. And here is – did my voice crack there? Here is.
It sounded like a part of the dialogue, so I let it go.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was sick all weekend again, man. I'm getting like my eyes are all runny and like I don't know. It's probably
after we drank that night. I don't remember what happened an hour later. I blacked out because we drank that much. I felt terrible this whole
I had Jack in a Box at like midnight delivered to my house that night.
That's the best.
Oh, it's the worst.
So
I woke
lucky.
up. I'm just like, oh, I'm just a piece of shit. But here's a stat for you.
Ooh, dang, stat me.
In this game, the Phoenix Suns out-rebounded the Milwaukee Bucks 52-36. This is a team that has Giannis Antetokounmpo and it has Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
They have Kyle Kuzma as well, who's long. Taurean Prince, who's a long guard. Giannis had 10 rebounds. Brook Lopez had 10. But the Suns out-rebound them 52-36. So what does that tell me? Well, that tells me that this team is showcasing that rebounding isn't always about size. It's about effort. It's about give a shit. And that's what's been such a challenge with this team the majority of the year is not their lack of size, but their lack of effort on the interior. And that's what we've been seeing over these past 2 to 3 weeks is they are negating second chance points because they're not allowing opposing teams to get offensive rebounds. The Suns won the second chance points battle tonight 11-9. But that effort, that team rebounding mentality, that disruption, not allowing the opponent to just simply go up and get a rebound and then get the ball out in transition to make sure you're crashing, slap their hands a little bit, try to get the ball. If you don't get it, oh well, but you've slowed down their ability to be effective on the offensive end. That's happening right now.
It is. And Kevin Durant says Brook Lopez moves so slow in the chat. I understand that, but you have to also understand that this team defensively, offensively, they were never like looking at the ball, making effort to actually move towards the ball whenever it was released by either their own teammates' hands or also defending or the opposing team hands. Like they had the hardest time just trying to find their way in there to nuzzle in to get the offensive rebound, but also just box out their own guy. The Suns right now on the defensive end, like the rebounding, and especially in the first half, helped them so much because of the turnovers, right? The Bucks had the 19 points off turnovers in the first half, but because the Suns rebounded so well, like they kind of even things out in a way. But they have their eyes on the ball at all times. Like I always say their IQ of the young guys is great, but I just always can remember before this win streak, even like 2 games before that, like. I just remember like Royce O'Neal or Grayson, like guys would just stand there at the 3-point line, just watch everything unfold in front of them. You don't
and then
see
just
that
run
anymore.
back and then just run back down on
defense,
right?
It's just like it was a pickup game. Like this team right now is playing where they want the second chance points. They want to make sure that they get a chance after a miss. Like they don't want to give up any possessions to the opposing team. So it's a team that's changed in that way very drastically within the last 4 games. And kudos to them, man, because that was not the effort they were playing with at all 6 games ago.
I completely agree. And that is the turning point in this season is, again, activity, not standing around. Even on that final play when Devin Booker hit the shot, in the past, that would have been just an isolation by Kevin Durant, him accepting a double team and then trying to fight through it. but there's a screen that comes in. Booker rolls off the screen. They get it to Booker. He goes to wide open space. You force the defender to make a decision. Am I going to guard Devin Booker or Grayson Allen? And the defender, I'd have to look who it is on the play because I don't recall. But they jumped out to Grayson Allen, and I was like, sweet. I mean, Devin Booker, like a mid-range jump shot. That's where he's made his fucking money. And to your point, Colin Gillespie, now 4-0 as a starter in his NBA career, mind you, and still without a drop here on the Suns Jam Session podcast, is doing those little things that is making this team successful. He's not killing you with stats, right? 6 points, 5 total rebounds, 3 assists, only 1 turnover. But there's one thing that Colin Gillespie does that I've noticed that I appreciate, and those who are lifelong Suns fans and have been around since the Nash era, it's something you'll appreciate as well if you watch for it. He doesn't pick up his dribble. Nash never picked up his dribble, because the moment you pick up your dribble, and that's where it's hurt Devin Booker more than it's helped him in his career. In the world of point and book, he picks up his dribble too often, and what happens is that allows defenders to start to swarm, because you're forced into a decision. You're going to shoot it, you're going to pass it, or you're going to turn the ball over. And Booker does that time and time again. Colin Gillespie has done a really good job of keeping that ball on a string, navigating sometimes underneath the paint, very Nash-esque, if you will, but not picking up the dribble and keeping the ball alive. And I actually have noticed, especially in a game like tonight, it almost feels like through osmosis that is happening with Devin Booker, because he was picking up he was keeping his dribble much longer than I've seen in the past this season. And it's just an interesting wrinkle, and it showcases that while Colin Gillespie isn't somebody who's going to stuff the stat sheet, what he brings on the defensive end, what he brings from a playmaking standpoint, he's not a go stand in the corner guy like Tyus Jones has been all year on offense, probably through no fault of Tyus's, but it's still a fact. I like the fact that he continues to get the starts, and kudos to Mike Budenholzer for continuing to start Colin Gillespie.
Yeah, thank God, bud. And I think, if he were to actually go back to Tyus, or if Beal came back and you put him in the point guard role, that would be the biggest travesty in the NBA since the Luka trade, or the second of the whole season, because I think we would actually have riots in the streets if that ever did happen. Because
it's like 4 of us who actually know what's going on are rioting. It's like, know about Gillespie, right?
What if the cops are like, let them have their fun, all right? They're just a little drunk. But I like the Gillespie thing is great, because a lot of us are like, oh, is this the second coming of Nash? Like, I'm sure everyone thought that. But I think the play of the game, other than the Dunn dunk, or maybe Dunn's second dunk, I do like the fact that Gillespie had the 3 late in the game when the Suns were kind of pulling away. And he had the 3, but hesitated, waited for the defender to come over, and then Kevin Durant was wide open. He did the right thing, not taking that 3 and waiting until the guy came over, leaving KD wide open, and KD knocks it down. Like, that stuff is what keeps you on the court, and that stuff is what makes Big Dick Book hard.
Exactly.
And KD
fully erect.
Big Dick hard. Yeah.
Fully erect. And everybody plays off of it. It's that youth movement that the Suns are embracing right now. And, again, it begs the question on whether or not, when Bradley Beal becomes healthy again, how much playing time does he get? Because if he is healthy, that cuts into Colin Gillespie's minutes. That cuts into Ryan Dunn's minutes. And it's crazy that you have to think that. But at this point, when you're jiving the way that you are as a team, you don't want to disrupt it. And Beal could potentially bring disruption. And we don't want to see any less minutes of this guy. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. 12 points tonight, 9 total rebounds. 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, and his viral moment, a fast break dunk that was, a touchdown pass to Devin Booker, who whipped it over to Ryan Dunn, who jammed it home. That is now officially my screensaver on my iPhone. I mean, over Giannis, Ryan Dunn slams it home and one, missed the free throw, mind you. And I'll always remember that when I look at that picture, like, oh, what a great play. You fucking missed the free throw. But I mean, Ryan Dunn, it's just how amazing is this guy playing, Matthew?
It's great. And he had the dunk, obviously. My favorite play, though, going back to the Gillespie thing, it's just the little things that really will keep you on the court. And it's the thing where Dunn just adjusts to Nick Richards, who tries to throw him an alley-oop, or Dunn thinks it's an alley-oop, but it kind of goes to his chest and it's behind him, right? And Dunn's like, hey, throw it up. 2 plays later, Richards finds Dunn again, cutting to the basket. He's ready. Dunn's ready for the chest pass, catches it, dunks it. It's his final dunk of the game after that glorious one he had. But it's just, those are the things that lead up to everything else. I think that this guy is going to be respected again. He fell off, of course, midway through the season, did not play for a while, didn't get really any minutes. But obviously what he's doing right now is he's learning just to adjust to everything so quickly. And that's just showing like how he's grown so fast on this team. And he was obviously Kevin Durant's maybe best friend on the team, going to games together and doing all the spring training game and stuff that. But you can just see this team, they're just letting all that anger out from all season. You know what I mean? After these
taking
plays,
it out on the rim,
fucking vein like busting on their necks. Like they are just angry as hell. Like this is what we're talking about. So Dunn's a leader of that stuff. He's a leader of like not fuck shit up stuff, but he's a leader of like bringing everyone together with the fucking flexing and the FUs and just like blood vessels popping. Like that's this guy right now. He's playing on another level for sure.
And all the Jamsters are reminding me in the chat that he did miss the free throw, but he did get the offensive rebound on the free throw and then hit a floater. So
yeah, that's what happened. I was like,
play.
wait, because I was like writing something and I was like, wait, hold on, what just happened? I thought it just like went in, like tipped in or something.
No, it was Ryan Dunn
that made it. Okay,
yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Mark N in the chat, but then he got the rebound and another shot. So yes, I did leave that out. For those of you who are frequent listeners of the podcast, you know that both Matthew and I are fans of The Ringer, Bill Simmons, Ryan Russillo. They were talking, they were doing their 2024 NBA redraft, right? So they do this from time to time where they'll take a look as the season progresses and goes, hey, if the draft were to happen today, based on what we know now, based on what we've seen this season, would this guy still be the first overall pick? Where would you pick this guy? Did you happen to hear the latest episode, Matthew?
No, I started listening to it. I didn't finish it though.
So they did a top 8 redraft and they went through their top 8 and then they were just mentioning a ton of different rookies that, they're like, well, there's this other class kind of right here, just below all these guys. And they're going through all of these different names. And not once did they mention Ryan Dunn, which just pisses me off, obviously, because I'm a Suns fan. And I think that what he's done this season has been respectable for sure. I mean, he was on the Rising Stars team, a substitute, but still he earned his path to there with the way that he's played. And it got me researching a little bit to see if my frustration's founded or if I'm just obviously a Phoenix fan, if I have a bias for Ryan Dunn. And that brings us to trivia time.
You know what time it is.
Trivia time.
Suns Fever. Simmons, the most punchable voice in sports. I love Bill Simmons' podcast.
I love his
douchey.
voice.
I love his voice. I don't know.
I love his hesitation and his anxiety he has that rides through his voice. Like there's always that. I think that's why a lot of people can relate to him because he's not like Ryan Russillo, where he's like so polished and all that shit. Like you can hear him kind of struggle at times and trying to win arguments. You know what I mean? Like because Ryan Russillo will get in some holes and he just kind of struggles there once in a while. So I think that's why.
Yeah, and I guess I can relate to that because I host a podcast and I struggle through it every time I do this. I'm so nervous. I'm terrified. I don't want to be judged, but yet I put myself out into a forum to where I can be judged. But looking at this and Saul, or who said it? Peter Papalardo says, Voida, they will always look at offense first. And you're 100% correct there because if it was defensive numbers, I know that Ryan Dunn would fare much better than a lot of the offensive players. But that being said, taking a look at this year's draft class, where do you think Ryan Dunn falls in total number of minutes played? Let's just start there. Total minutes played.
I'll say 18th.
You are fucking damn close, man. 17th.
17th? Okay.
17th. Okay. All right. Let's talk about, let's just do points per game.
Points per game? I'll say around the same, like 22nd. Maybe?
21st.
21st.
21st. Well done. Total rebounds per game.
Total rebounds, 12th.
Total rebounds is 19th.
Oh, 19th.
Oso Ighodaro is 13th, so you're close there.
Okay. Got that one. Huh?
And then the last one, and I'm kind of looking this up on the fly.
Everyone's just saying 20, 24, 22nd. Sorry, guys.
So let's do if out of all the rookies who've played 20 or more games, okay, where do you think Ryan Dunn falls in? Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. In defensive rating.
8th.
No. Oso Ighodaro is 5th, by the way. A 106.7.
Good for him, man.
Ryan Dunn. Jeez, he's way down there.
Is he?
I can't. Yeah, he's like 21st.
Shit.
So what that does is it proves that I clearly have hometown bias versus when comparing him to other rookies, I was wrong. That's what that lesson was for me. Because I was doing this while I was watching the game. I was looking up his stats and whatnot and kind of, just kind of going down that.
He's a moments guy, though. He's a moment. He's the guy that's going to hit the big three. He's going to have the big dunk. I'm not just saying this game, but he did that earlier in the season. He didn't have those kind of dunks, but he always hit big shots, and he always had like a steal, a tip ball, something like that. Like he can live up to the moment. That's the biggest thing for this guy is to make sure that he can be in there in big times during the game because he's going to have to be relied upon the rest of the season into the playoffs. Like he's going to have to be that guy that's going to continue to have to make these kind of plays, not as many, but at least just to keep the Suns within, distance to win the game in close game.
I like what Trash Panda says. He's like, he's first in Suns' hearts. And Saul says, so he's mid. Is that what you're trying to say, John? I still wouldn't trade him. No, I'm not saying he's mid. I'm saying when you compare him to current rookies, he falls in the middle of a lot of things. But that doesn't mean he's mid because every rookie's situation is different, right? When you have guys like, Richiche, he's going to get much more opportunity in Washington and a ton more minutes. Bub Carrington in Portland, Jalen Wells in Memphis, Stephon Castle in San Antonio, Yves Missy. All these guys are going to get a ton more minutes and a ton more opportunity to be an offensive player because those teams are so bad that they're relying on them to do so. What the Suns needed to do in this draft and what they successfully accomplished was to find an ancillary piece who could complement Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and be productive in year one, and he's doing that. And that's why I have that bias. And that's why when they sit there and they talk about this, Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo, I'm taking that factor into account. I'm just like, dude, he's such a vital part. To your point, he's a moments guy. He's putting together these amazing moments for the Suns, and I just wish he would get a little bit more recognition for that. And it's okay that he doesn't because we know, we watch it, we see it, we experience it. And tonight, it truly was in every possible word, we experienced it. So that being said, I want to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, that guy. Do I still have the fuck that guy drop in here somewhere? Oh, yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Fuck that guy. Am I right? I mean, so says Jay appears is like driving home. He was at the game.
Is he kidnapped?
Are you in the back of somebody's trunk right now?
Look,
are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. Everything is fine. Oh my God.
Call the cops.
No, actually, I sped home really quickly because I wanted to get to a safe place where I could, I mean that from the perspective of like being parked and not breaking the law, so I could hop on. I saw a little link that you dropped in the chat early. But also, yeah, Giannis, fuck that guy. Also, Tyler Ford, learn to count to 10, bro, because there were at least 3 instances of the 10 count being not abided by, and the dude does not abide.
If Tyler Ford was following you home in a police car and you were going 45 in a 45, he would have thought you were going 75 because he can't count. I mean, yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo gets the benefit, and I think it's funny because you were at the game tonight, obviously. A great experience inside the arena, and you had a little bit of PTSD because back in the finals in 2021, when Giannis Antetokounmpo was at the line, it became a ritual to count the seconds for his free throws, and we almost did it joyously until he turned into fucking Steve Nash at the free throw line in that finals and couldn't miss a fucking finals. And I kind of blame us for that. You know, remember that?
Horribly. So yes, I do remember that quite vividly. Well, and it's exactly why, like, yeah, people started doing it tonight, and I was like, oh, please stop on. Oh, well, let's chant Suns in 4 next. Why don't we do that while we're at it? Yay. No. But then it got me thinking. Then I was like, okay, wait, hold on. Let's count this. Because, yeah, this is I feel like Giannis almost does it just to see, like, how far he's like, oh, let's see what happens here.
He pushes the boundaries. Matthew, you watched Giannis play tonight. Fuck that guy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the little scuffle with him and KD at the end, too, where I think KD came up and gave him a little bit of an uppercut, and he had to walk away from that and trying to do something, trying to earn a free throw or something before the game ends on the last shot of the game. So, but Justin, really quick, the energy and how many games have you been to this season? Is this like your 10th game, or are you in the 20s?
Probably closer to 20. Yeah, high teens.
Okay. This is
I've missed a couple.
Best energy.
Yeah, dude. It's yeah. This was here. Here's what I will tell you. So, this game, I was at the Bulls game. The energy as of late has been different. And the energy tonight was definitely the best energy that I felt in the building. And that was even like earlier in the game even. There was just a different feel to it. But crowd got loud towards the end. Everybody standing. I mean, it felt like everybody felt like it mattered again. It felt like a whole bunch of people that, maybe aren't exactly shutting the door on this season just yet, like a bunch of lunatics. Right here. That's why I want to hop back on, because I am so back in. We are so winning the title again this year. Great.
What about a 6 seed? Is that possible?
Let's not get crazy. Just a championship. Just a championship. No,
it's just a champion, not a 6 seed. Yeah, no, I'm with Justin. I was at the Bulls game last week, and there was definitely an energy there. And it's good to know that from the stands, it felt like that, because I was up on Media Row, up on level B, and right with next to chicken fingers. Yes. Oh man, I almost brought you chicken fingers too, but I was like, you know what?
You would have got arrested, Dave, bringing up chicken fingers.
I was gonna. Well, you know how Bloom always puts his food in a to-go box, because they give you to-go boxes. Because Bloom can't eat real quick. He's at the halftime show. He has to eat after the game. So I almost brought a to-go box. I was going to bring it up to your seat, but during that game, it was definitely loud. But it was also a situation where right next to where I was sitting, there's a bar right next to where the poor media people get to sit, and there was a fucking frat right there, dude. I mean, just like the loud. It was too, dude. It was like me when I was like 23 at a game, just drunk as shit, yelling dumb shit, and I'm like I wasn't even getting mad. Like the couple people around me were kind of like, dude, those guys. I'm like, I know, those lucky bastards. I miss those days, you know.
That's what I think too.
Dude, it's kind of funny, because at that game, I remember I was looking over. I was trying to find you. I could not find you, and I went by this one area where I swear to God, I thought that's where you would normally be sitting, like 4 times, and I'm like, that doesn't look right. It looks like a bunch of like random dudes that like are just hanging out. Apparently I was right. Anyway,
I was just right around the corner. It says media only right here, but like right next to that, there's like taking shots of Jaeger bombers. I was like, dude, I remember Jaeger bombers, man. They weren't doing that. They're like Fireball. But
you guys call it, Matthew, did you call it Jaeger bombers? I was calling it Burs was never in the. I'm saying, did you call it that? I
just called them Jaeger bombs.
Okay, yeah, me too. That was what threw me.
You've never seen
I was asking you if you also called that.
Jaeger bomber. You don't remember that old video from like 2005? Jeez, look it up. Jaeger bomber. It's there. It exists. Real quick, I just want to say, Giannis Antetokounmpo, fuck that guy, diving into Devin Booker's legs, not cool.
How was that not a foul?
It was
just barreled over him.
Tyler Ford. I don't know. Like, yeah, he jumped into Devin Booker's legs. He's playing football while everyone else is playing basketball.
Always.
And I get that he's unstoppable, but a lot of leading with the arm shit, a lot of pushing off, things of that nature. It's a reminder that he is like one of the dirtiest, cheapest players in the NBA. We only see him twice a year, so we don't think that. We just see the highlights. But when you stop and you watch him a lot, like we did in the finals, when we got to experience that, we're like, oh man, this guy is fucking dirty. And like, because of his physical abilities, he's better than you, and he's a dirty son of a bitch. And that's why I can confidently say, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's Dan's voice right there. Anything else you have in your notes, Matthew? And then we'll see if Justin has anything in his notes, and then we'll go on to the subreddit stakeout.
The thing about Richards is it's turning out pretty nice. The pick and roll, it's kind of deadly in a way. When Giannis gets his dunks on their end, like fuck, man. But then Richards comes back. He had like 3 big dunks now in the pick and roll. And he's kind of answering the dunks on the other side that we never get all season long. So I like the fact that I'm kind of scared of Richards right now. I always think of like who approaches him in the locker room because he does not seem too friendly. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't seem like a dude that you can just come up and talk to. So when KD is standing next to him, kind of giving him pointers, I'm like, just careful, dude, with this guy. He seems a little bit not sensitive, but he seems like a hard ass for sure. So I like that we have him. And it seems like he has a little bit of an edge right now.
I just pictured him like Fulton Reed in the locker room, just kind of like grunting at people and stuff. Yeah,
I do too.
But at the end of the day, he's got your back. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the knuckle puck. What was his? I don't remember.
What was Fulton Reed? He just hit the puck, like
he just hit
really,
the shit
really
out of
hard.
it. Right?
He was gigantic.
Yeah, knuckle puck was Kenan Thompson. But I mean, Richards is known to be kind of the quiet guy who just kind of goes about his business, but I want to fuck with him. And I love this combo we have right now of Richards and Oso, because I think it brings, again, that was the challenge earlier in the season, is with Nurkic and Plumlee, you just had like Nurkic, and then you had Kirkland brand Nurkic, which isn't very good. And that was your center rotation. And now you have 2 different kind of archetypes who come in there and play. You got Richards, he can roll. He's got some size. He has some hustle. He can grab some rebounds. And then Oso, who might not necessarily have the size, but he has the IQ, the skill. And like I said, rebounding isn't always about size. It's about effort. And that's what Oso brings. So to see both of those guys kind of be a part of your rotation at the 5, it's been kind of a revelation. And it's something that, again, as we look forward to next year, knowing that both those guys could be under contract. And then if you can get a third center, a quality center in there to kind of fortify that depth, I think it's a direction that James Jones, if he's still around, should navigate. I guess the real question is, should we fire Bud, Justin?
I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no, because okay, hold on. Let me step back, because can I tell you what I think's going on? You want me to?
Hell yeah, I
so,
do.
Like, I feel like at this point, Book went to like Matt Ishbia's like, look, Matty Ice, like, Bud, this guy can't do it anymore. I can't do it. And Ishbia's like, dude, I can't fire another coach, especially right now. It's crazy. People are like, look at this guy. The owner's crazy. Like don't make me do this, man. Book's like, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. Just tell him I'm doing it. I'll do it, right? That's his motto kind of thing at this point, right? He's like, I'll do it. So Matt Ishbia is like, look, Bud, you do your little thing on the sidelines, look like you're coaching, blah, 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 but Book's going to call the shots. Why the fuck do you think Colin Gillespie keeps starting? Why do you think Ryan Dunn's magic? Like, you think Budenholzer's just suddenly like, oh, you know what? Maybe I was wrong all that time. I'll go back, because no, dude, like, stubborn coaches are going to remain in their stubbornness. They're not going to change to save their job, especially when they know the guy will fire him and pay him anyway. Who cares? So, no, we don't need to fire him, because at this point, Coach Book, better than Point Book.
So you say Book's running the team, huh?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Well, I mean, Justin has video evidence of Devin Booker calling timeouts and then he posted it on Twitter.
What was I saying last pod? I swear,
Matthew was saying the same shit.
I got so much shit for saying this is Book's team, and he's running it now. It's his team.
Dude, yes,
you're out.
Literally, he wasn't in the game, and he called it. And he was walking up and down the sidelines, like coaching. And he called a timeout, pointed to the ref, and the ref calls a timeout and points at Book.
Now, could it have been coincidental, perhaps, but I don't think so. Because Book
Yeah,
literally
something's
said timeout, and he calls it. I mean, look. And the
Shout
team
out
looks like they
to-
care for a reason, I feel, also.
Shout out to Scheinbach in the chat. He says 1 out of 5. Fulton Reed. 1 out of 5.
You know, he played Foggy in. Do you guys watch Daredevil, the TV series?
I never did. I watched
Yeah, he plays. He's
Yeah.
a character on there. Really good. I didn't even know that was him till right now. So that's
good
pretty
old
cool.
Fulton Reed, man.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
I will say this: the Bucks subreddit stakeout is full of some salty motherfuckers, man.
Hell yeah. Were
You
you
know?
in there?
Oh yeah, I think we both
Oh,
were
I
in
was
there
in there as
tonight,
a
right?
frat guy that sits right next to Media Row, or stands. 20 of them stands right next to Media Row, shouting obscenities.
Yeah, you're just sitting there. You're trying to think. You're trying to write, and there's like just one guy who's just like, he's like, "Fucking Nick Richards, Big Dick Nick." I'm like, "It's Big Dick Booker. God damn it, get it right." If you're gonna yell obscenities right next to the Suns media team, because that's who sits right behind us as the Suns media team. But Matthew, were you in the subreddit stakeout
I was
tonight
there
as well?
too. Yeah.
All right,
Super
perfect. Well,
salty.
how about we just take turns going? All right,
All right.
and then Justin, you react and say if it's funny or not.
Oh, I know.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Can't wait. Go ahead.
All right, you lead us off, Matthew.
All right. I hate the Suns announcers more than most. I don't know who the most are, but
Dude, they were knocking the Suns announcers so much in the subreddit the entire day. Eddie Johnson, they're homers, they're bad people. I'm like, good lord.
That's thumbs down to that. Fuck those guys. It's terrible. Look, hold
Are
on.
you on-
Like,
are you
like,
on your
hold
iPhone
on,
right now?
anybody that yeah, that's why.
Do a thumbs down.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
this.
thumbs up, thumbs down.
It should do a little graphic. It didn't do a graphic.
Yeah,
There
it
we
is.
go. There
Yeah.
we go.
Well, and
Thank
also,
you,
can we
listeners.
people that root for Giannis are going to talk about character? Yeah, move on.
Here's a comment.
Look what they did
More-
to Grayson. Look what he used to be like back then. He was a gentle angel. Wasn't really
More
help their team,
like-
but you know, whatever. It's beside the point.
More like Nick Bitchards.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it rhymes, so good job.
Matthew?
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh, was that a comment from subreddit?
Yes.
I thought
that
you were
was
just
a-
making a joke.
No, you and I are going back and forth. We were going to talk about
My
Nick
bad.
Richards.
Oh, that didn't go very swell. All right.
Yeah.
The Phoenix
swell at all.
commentator is very obviously still pissy about the 21 finals.
Well,
And that's when I found out we played the Bucks in the finals. I
Matthew
remember.
forgot. Tyus Jones's face considered neutral ground. I don't even know what that means. Neutral
Tyus
ground?
Jones' face, neutral ground.
Considered neutral ground.
Is it like the Battle of the Civil War, like the war zone? It looks like.
Maybe.
I feel
but
like
this is Milwaukee.
I feel like that could be one of those things that like we're lucky we don't know what it means because we shouldn't be even talking about it type things. Maybe it's one of those because, like,
That's
again,
a subreddit.
Milwaukee, those people are cray.
Yeah.
In the subreddit. Yeah,
We're
sorry.
not worthy.
I
We're not
interjected.
worthy.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to do this.
No, it's okay. We need your comments.
Matthew?
This is about KD, the most important assignment on the floor, and he keeps ending up wide open. So a lot of frustration there. With KD. Kevin
Classic
Durant.
Bud face. Resting Bud face was always entertaining.
That's a good one.
That's a good
I
one.
know that one. That's the one.
Good old resting Bud face. I love it.
This is another one about the commentators. The Phoenix broadcast crew are such homers when it comes to the refs, but also talk shit about their own players. Laugh out loud. I don't remember them talking shit about the Suns players.
The Suns
Also-
roster has the Bucks just as confused as I have been the last few minutes searching for who some of those dudes are. It's pretty good.
Kuz been unstoppable driving the ball, so of course he settles for 3-pointers.
Wish our white guy could hit his shots.
Kyle Kuzma is a basketball terrorist.
Suns are one of the only teams whose offense looks half as bad and disorganized as ours. I wonder who their coach is. Oh, wait.
I think Kuzma thinks he's a tank commander still.
Yep. This is just
Say
a random
tank?
comment.
Commander?
Tank.
Tank.
No, tank.
Oh,
He's a taint. He's been born a taint commander. I'm pretty sure.
So this is just a random comment, but I thought I'd include it. Y'all boys have mandarin oranges in Wisconsin, like the super fresh and juicy ones with the stems on them.
Is that Wisconsin?
Like, no, just a random
stems on them.
My last one was Giannis needs to do underhand grandpa free throws.
And then I've got 3 more. Gay son Allen. First time I've ever heard that one. How open is KD on every play? And then my favorite comment, probably of the night, especially considering we won, is somebody astutely noted, at least we have the NBA Cup.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
Yeah, John's just like frozen.
Yeah. Do you still? Am I just a black screen, or can you see me?
It's like it feels like it's God talking to us, so it's kind of neat.
I'll just do this. There you go.
Yeah, you're
all right.
Pulsating at least.
Yeah, at least I got a goofy looking face when I'm pulsating and such.
Why does it do that? I hate that. That's worse.
It's kind of creepy.
Why? For those of you listening, thank you for doing so. And if you're watching along live, it's time to talk about our Jam Star of the game.
Jam Star of the game.
All right, Jamsters. Reminder, subscribe, rate, and review. If you happen to be listening along live, thanks for doing so. We truly appreciate it. Make sure you go by our Apple podcast feed and leave a 5-star review. So click 5 stars and then rate us. Now that you were kind of doing the video thing there, Justin, over there on Fanning the Flames, do you guys have any 5-star reviews on your Apple podcast?
I don't know. That's all.
Well,
I don't know. That's all.
Well, you
hey,
do.
you're back. Look, it's
yeah.
here.
I switched my other camera. Well, you do because I left you one.
Oh,
and
real
look. Quick, Peter.
I left it 2 years ago.
And you should see Peter Papalardo in the chat. He says, "Nice cap, Void. I need to get me one of those." I got that, and I got the KD. I like the jersey shirts.
That's really cute. Keep lifting it up higher and higher.
Oh yeah, just for you.
See more of that.
All right, so who we going with the Jam Star of the game? Let's start with Justin from Fanning the Flames who's joined us.
Man, I feel like this is one where, I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna go through a long dissertation about it. I'm just gonna say it. Ryan Dunn. Fuck it, Ryan Dunn.
Wow.
Yeah, no, a little curveball there.
Such a fan of the Flames
curveballed
answer.
Myself right there. What?
Wow.
What happened?
You curveballed yourself.
Yeah.
Such a fan of the Flames answer. Matthew, who are you giving it to?
I was going to do the same thing, but since you gave it to Dunn, I'm going to give it to Kevin Durant. And I feel like because I snubbed Kevin Durant last time, where I give it to somebody else, but Dunn, he's close second.
Well, Seth says KD clutch. David Ray says KD is the Jam Star because he had the most points. Booker's an honorable mention for hitting the winning shot. Mark N gives it to KD. Mark Brooks, got to be KD. KD tonight from Suns Fever. Dunn from Roaring Cactus. What does a Roaring Cactus sound like?
Sounds terrifying.
Trash Panda. Ryan Dunn for the energy he injected.
TP.
Saul, Booker, and Dunn for their respective highlights. The Kevin Durant as alias Maya B saying that 36-year-old living legend, easy money sniper.
Descriptive.
Kevin Athan, David Durant from Keith Nettles.
Not correct.
Coach Bud from Fumer El Oso. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and and Seth says you can't curveball yourself in a car parking lot in Phoenix. That's against the penal code.
Well, I'm in my driveway, so my dog's probably inside freaking out. My wife's like, why is he sitting in his car so long?
I'll drive home, I'll sit out front, and the dog goes crazy. And she's like, why didn't you just come in? I was like, I was on the phone. I give this one to Kevin Durant. I mean, without a doubt. 38 points. He's the reason why Devin Booker had that wide open shot. It's because he drew all the attention. He hit that big three when we needed, that got us up to 106 after we were down. So, I mean, absolutely clinic put on by Kevin Wayne Durant in this one. Next up for the Phoenix Suns, Wednesday, they're playing the Boston Celtics. This should be an interesting one. Jason Tatum got hurt tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad, but it looked like it, on a closeout.
Well, he was. So I guess in the locker room, he was eating, joking with teammates, and wearing shoes on both of his feet.
So no boot.
No boots, but they might sit him still. So I feel like he's not going to play this game.
That's Boston's thing this season. One thing they've been highly successful at this year is they've been sitting guys left and right the entire season, almost like kind of a pitching staff. They have this rotation where you're not going to see their full arsenal until the playoffs come. Could it be something that the Suns capitalize on? Final game of a 5-game homestand. Matthew, what do you think the result of this game will be?
Yeah, I think this is the most important game, obviously. I think they keep getting more difficult as they come along. Even the Bulls game, right? That's the Bulls from the East, but they're like one of the Bill
they won 7 out of the last 9.
Yeah, they're my favorite team to watch. They play hard. They're obviously enjoying each other on the team finally. So they are definitely a threat, and the Suns took care of business with them. So I think the fact that, they got the Celtics coming up with maybe Jason Tatum sitting this one out, it's still going to be a difficult challenge defensively. I think this is going to be another huge game for them because if they win this one, it's like, all right, this is a Celtics team that kind of fell off, doesn't really have the momentum, kind of a team that's like, we are who we are right now. We'll just get to the playoffs, but also a team that might want to continue to, get a little bit of a hot streak ending the season. So I'm excited for this one for sure.
Justin, who do you got?
Bro, we're back. I'm back. The Suns are back. I have fucking Suns easy by probably like 34.
And by Giannis Antetokounmpo's number. I like what you did there.
Oh.
Number 34 in Boston Celtics history. Who is that? Who has a retired number of number 34?
Robert Parrish?
Nope. He was double 0.
Hold on. I know who, Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale is correct. All right.
I knew it was a center.
Time. It's going to be the Suns. Going to be a victory. Let's go get this, baby. Let's go get this. Thank you again for everybody who tuned in to the Suns Jam Session podcast. Justin, tell everyone out there where they can follow you and watch your show.
You can follow me on Twitter at SoSaysJ. You can follow our show at Fanning the Flames, I think, on YouTube.
There you go.
At Fan the Flames NBA on Twitter. Just Fanning the Flames, you find it. If you really want to find it, you'll find it. It's fantastic. Voida and Matthew love it, is what I understand. So
yeah, I've listened to like 15 minutes for sure. I like it. I do actually enjoy it. Just yeah, I love it.
You have to be in a particular mood, I've been told.
You just have to. It's got to be a right time.
Cleaning
like
the house.
It'll be like a Saturday night when you guys go live on a Saturday where the Suns aren't playing, so I can finally spend time with my wife. And it's like, sorry guys, I'm not hanging out with you. I'm hanging out with the missus. Matthew, tell everyone where they can follow you.
Let's see.
And you can follow me at Darth Voida on the Twitter and read my writing at brightsideofthesun.com. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us. Matthew, tell them what to do.
Yeah, so Joe from Impractical Jokers, I guess, is a molester too. So he should have just made a great show and go home and loved his family, and he would be out of this pickle. So go love your family, everybody. Don't stick around work. Go home and love your family.
It's like all the other Impractical Jokers are like, all right, here's your punishment. You have to go try to hook up with a 19-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you're listening to the Suns Jam Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.